interested in when I talk to them are the case counts and the human and health impact that COVID-19 has had and is having in our community. A close second is the state of our small businesses. As all of you, I'm sure, have heard and are aware of, COVID-19 has had a significant impact on our local businesses. It hasn't been uniform across the board. Some businesses have been hit much harder than others. Some businesses have been impacted by public health orders to slow the spread of COVID-19 a lot more than others. But I can say that almost universally there has been some negative impact from the pandemic. So we have kept an eye on this from the very beginning. We moved even before the CARES Act was finalized. We had provided $300,000 in direct relief to our local business community. That was administered in partnership with the Estes Chamber of Commerce and the Estes Economic Development Corporation. It happened in April and May of 2020. So I'm actually really pleased and proud of that effort. The board really stepped up to the plate, and we were ahead of almost every other community I was aware of in terms of direct relief, in terms of establishing a cross-community team. Really proud with how our team was proactive early on in the pandemic. We did establish and facilitated the Accelerated Recovery Team in March of 2020. I think we were optimistic at that point. So that eventually evolved into the Estes Valley Resiliency Collaborative, which has a longer term focus. So it's focused less on trying the next half a year or year and more on what this looks like for the next 3 or 4 years as the Valley and our state recover from the pandemic. We had a number of smaller programs that looked to ease the burden on our businesses over the course of the year. Embrace the Views was a way to license and expand outdoor seating for restaurants and bars. The Winterizing Outdoor Spaces program, in a similar vein, that was a state program that we applied for and received money to help restaurants and applicants get appliances and items to help them facilitate outdoor dining or outdoor business. So space heaters, tents, things like that. So those have started rolling in and are being distributed to businesses now. We are administering the state small business relief program with the Chamber and EDC. So that money comes to the county, and then the county is distributing it through Estes Park, Loveland, and Fort Collins. So right now we have about 20 applications for that. The awards range from $3,500 to $7,000, up to $3,500 to $7,000, depending on the size of the business. They may have to be altered based on how much money the county as a whole gets. But the application process for that is relatively straightforward. It's documents that most businesses have or should have, and it's not a terribly complicated application. I think right now we have about 20 applicants. It's open through the end of next week, so through January 27th. The application period is open. The town board at the last town board meeting extended the business license deadline to June 31st. So making sure that even though it's only $50, making sure that people are able to access the summer cash flow before they have to pay that $50 fee. We recognize that January and February are not good cash flow times in most of Estes Park. So this will allow people to kind of float that $50 charge if every dollar counts. And I think for a lot of our businesses right now, every penny counts. So that's something that we're recognizing and trying to help with. And then pretty consequential, the board decided to waive most liquor license renewal fees. So liquor license fees are often tied to businesses that have been disproportionately impacted by the pandemic, like restaurants and bars. So this is a pretty close approximation of how we can help those businesses. It runs from $600 to $1,000 per business. So all told, about $50,000 of fees were waived there for our local business community. Happy to answer any questions on that. Does Winterizing Outdoor Spaces or any other organization take donations of outdoor heaters? Well, that's a great idea. It hasn't come up, but Bonnie, if you'd like to follow up with me, I can connect you to the administrator of that program. And if there's unmet need there, they can probably help connect you. Thank you. That's very generous.